sale. Because this is a perfect opportunity where if you have a book that you've done for your family, of a family vacation or something, and if you printed one copy for your family, oftentimes we have more than one child. So this is where I take the opportunity to print that extra copy or two of the book so that my kids each have a book for the future and that they don't end up fighting over one of them. So great opportunity to do duplicate copies of books that you've done in the past.
That's a wonderful idea. I'd never even thought of that. Thanks for sharing that idea.
Yes, I have multiple copies of every book, so just to make sure that the family all gets one. So it's great.
Well,
so
cool.
I always like to print one first and then make sure it's all perfect, and then I go ahead and print copies when they go on sale.
Wonderful.
All right. Well,
hey, well, it's all yours, Roxanne. Thank you.
Okay, great. Well, tonight we're going to talk about We've Got Game. Sports are actually one of our best sellers. We do so many different sports teams. I have kids who play different sports, so I'm always doing thank you books for the coaches and team parties. It's a great opportunity, and everybody loves like the books that I make at the end of the year. I usually do one for the team with the coaches, and then it's really easy to duplicate them and just change the front cover to customize for each player. So it's quick and easy. Once you've got the first one done, it's so easy to duplicate. So I will show you a little bit of that later on, but I do love sports. One of my sons, my oldest son, actually is an archer, and we have not had any archery artwork to speak of, and yes, it is on my list for art in the future, so I've got it there. I just haven't gotten to it yet. But I went ahead and decided I'm going to do a couple archery things because archery is becoming very popular. And there's a lot of play on archery too, like just if you have dreams and goals in mind, it's setting your focus and hitting your target. So it could be used for several different things. But this is basically made out of a whole bunch of different just basic circles. These are all just circle pieces of art layered on top of each other, just arrows from another collection that I colorized. And so basically I made something archery out of basically no archery art at all. So with just a little thinking and planning, you can pretty much capture anything that you want to. I've got a fun scrap page here, as well as a note card. I love doing note cards, these 4x6 greeting cards for the kids. I'm one of those moms that makes her kids write thank you cards for everything, for birthday and Christmas, any holiday where they receive something. So I love doing customized greeting cards for the kids. So I kind of put their pictures and their hobbies on the front, and then they handwrite a note inside, which is really special because then either the grandparents get some pictures of the kids plus a handwritten note. It's great. So I love to keep extra 4x6 cards on hand. It's a great love mug here. So I drink out of I've got actually a baseball one as well as an archery one here at the house. I love picking which one I'm going to use every morning. And this is brand new here too. This is actually on a 5x7 invitation card. And this is meant to have a gift card put here. So basically when you print this out, it says, thank you for keeping me on target this season. I hit the bullseye with you as my coach. So it's perfect for an archery coach. But it could easily be turned into maybe a teacher helped you hit the target this year or kept you on your goal. So basically you'd print this out, and then just this little piece here is just a text box and it says sample gift card shown for placement only. So you would just delete this piece of art off. It's just so you know where to place the gift card when you get it, and then you would take your gift card that you got for Target, obviously would be perfect here, or it could be any other gift card, and then just maybe with some of those double-sided tape or some of those glue dots, you would just adhere the gift card right to the front of the card here. So I thought that was a cute little idea for hitting the mark this year. I also wanted to show you guys, these are scrap pages, so I thought this is a clever way to do some scrap pages. A lot of times we just put our scrap pages into our post-bound album, which is great too, but these are great to hang on your walls. Canvases are a bit more expensive, but they look fabulous because all the sides are wrapped too, so you see them from the edges and they're dimensional. But these 12x12 scrap pages are very economical and easily framed. So I love this kind of set of 2 pages here. They could be framed and set side by side or actually stacked in a frame. This is actually called the Basketball Player's Prayer, and there's like a little prayer for the Lord to help them out with certain things. And it's just a cute little story. You can read through that. Need that. So, of course, if you didn't want the second page, you can delete that out of the project and just have a single scrap page. And I'll show you how to change this up if you want more photos on the second page. I'm going to show you how to do that a little bit later on in Studio. But there's also a great, I just used the import page feature and made this iPhone case here. So anything with kind of a vertical format is really easy to do on a vertical format phone. So I'll show you how to do the import page again too, because it's one of our most popular features, and I think it's one of my favorites. So I want to show you here how it looked stacked. So this is how, if you framed it, you could stack and easily hang it on a wall too. And I love our templates because they're so easy to customize. Within minutes, I had duplicated this basketball one. I clicked and then I drag and I drop in a new photo, like I dropped in this football one, and then quickly swapped out the papers and backgrounds. And it's exactly the same placement on everything, but it completely changes the look. So within minutes, I was able to do the basketball, football, baseball, and you could just go on and on. So the templates are just really easy with the drag and drop system. So once again, I've done all the phone cases to match, real easy system to use. I did want to point out, I know I moved really quickly through these classes, and you can always go back and watch the recording. But I wanted to show you, I know some people don't know the little trick of snippets or grab snip. Does everybody know what snip is or how to do screenshots? I wanted to show you really quick how to do that. Let me just go back here, escape. I'm going to show you really quickly how to do that so you don't miss anything. If there's a design that you really like and you're worried you're going to miss the number or the picture, I would go ahead and do a snippet or a screenshot. So if you have a PC, it's down here under the little Windows element here in the lower left. You just click on that. And mine is the first tool here, snipping tool. So I just click on that, and then it'll give me the little icon here, this little plus sign, and then you just click and drag, and it's clipped that image right there. And then you just do a file and a save as, and I'll just say, just image for now. And I'm just going to save it to my desktop so I can go back and find it later, and I've got it saved. This is great for sharing with people, too, if you want them to see a certain sport template that you're interested in making. I know on the Mac, you can do Shift-Command 4, and it's kind of a quick drag and release, just how I showed you how to do it with the snipping tool. Or on the Mac, it's also available. You can search for Grab. Grab is under your utilities. So the snipping is a great way. I use it all the time, every day for lots of different things. But this is a quick way to grab screenshots of the things I'm doing right here, too. All right, so let's go back here to our slideshow. And then I know a lot of times we get very busy and we want to do a quick project, but we don't have any great photos available. I love to do designs without photos, too. So a lot of times my boys don't want pictures of them on their phone cases, but they love sports. So these are two designs, a basketball one and then a sidelines football design, which uses kind of the court as a background with the image, and then kept it real simple, which is their names and then the teams that they play for. So, any boy is going to be okay with having this. They don't necessarily want a photo, but this is a great way to get a little sports action in there and then have their names on it in case they ever lose them. And it has been known to happen. I also wanted to show you these. These have no photos on them, and there's not a lot of customization required unless you do want that. But this first one here, this football, the rules for always being a good sportsman is the number one pinned, number one thing pinned from Heritage Makers on Pinterest. I get notified when things of mine are pinned, and this one gets pinned multiple times every day. It's incredible how often I see this one floating out there in Pinterest. During another class a couple years ago when this first came out, we kind of designed together this cheerleading one and a hockey one. But you can do it for any sport. Just, find the template, which is the original number here, duplicate it, make a copy of it, and then start one for yourself. You can certainly add your player's name or a number if you like, but these rules apply to any good sportsman. And these 8x20 canvases are really wonderful. They're perfect for, small wall spaces that you have. They don't take up a lot of room. They look great, kind of maybe a small space like a bathroom. I have made these for children's or friends' birthday gifts. These are great for giving as birthday gifts. Whenever I give one of these, the mom always thanks me so much for doing this. They're just great little canvases, and they're quick and easy to do and do not require a photo at all. And while we're talking about Pinterest, I hope you guys all know that Heritage Makers is very active on Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter. So if you're not following us on those, be sure to look us up. Most of the time, like Instagram, it's just lowercase, Heritage Makers, all one word. You can also go to, let's see, over here, I'll show you where it is on our, I'm going to escape again. Let's see here on our website. Go here. If you go to Heritage Makers, and at the bottom here, you'll actually see you can connect with us, find us through any of these. If you click on Twitter, also YouTube channel, our blog is here as well. And it looks like we need to get our Instagram little icon added here as well. But it's a great way to see pictures of what other people are doing and follow along with, the newest and greatest things that are happening over at Heritage Makers. All right. Let's see. Next, we have a brand new digital art collection coming out. Stacy was kind enough to get this loaded in early, so I had plenty of time to work on a whole plethora of different templates for you. So the templates would be ready the day that this new basic sports fan art collection became available on July 1st. So this sports collection has just about every sport you can think of in it. I think it has 15 different sports. It's an extensive collection, and a lot of the pieces work great together. And I love that it's in basic. We have been short on sports items in basic, but this one has it all. So I'm going to show you some brand new templates that will be released on July 1st with this art collection, and everything that I'm going to show you moving forward is all in basic. So big hand to Stacy for taking care of that and getting us some great basic art. All right, this one is so simple, yet I love it. I can't believe, we didn't think of this before, but basically these two here are on canvases, 12 by 12 canvas, but I've also done them just as 12 by 12 scrap pages as well. So whichever one you prefer, both are available. But these are great. They could be for your child's favorite sports team if they follow hockey and they love the Rangers, or I have a baseball child who we're huge Braves fans, so it could be Braves baseball. But they're basically like the front of the jersey and then the back of the jersey. So the back of the jersey could even have your player's, your child's player's name and his number for whatever team he's playing on. Or it could be the real, the NFL or the baseball league. It could have the actual player's, last name and number on there as well. But these would look great hanging on a wall. I also went and did a simple phone case. These phone cases, again, if you look for the phone cases, I've done multiple sizes of the phone cases. So if you don't see yours there, use the import page feature, easy to adjust to make other phone cases, and also a mug. And these actually would work great for dads too. I know dads, we have some men who are fanatical about their sports. This would look great. A lot of men have, man caves. So this would be fun hanging in their man cave as well. So let's go ahead and go into Studio. Sometimes I know alphas or alphabet letters that are individual are a little more difficult to work with than just fonts or text. So let me show you how to change this name here and line them up real neatly. So let's go ahead. Let's open up Studio here. I've gone ahead and opened the canvas. So first of all, I kind of know what all the different areas mean. So if you're new, go ahead and read all these design guides. It kind of tells you where the canvas edges, the edges are in this gray area here. So you want to make sure your paper pulls all the way beyond the canvas edges. You don't want to stop it just right on the front here, because then your edges will be left white. And make sure your design goes all the way, like these stripes go all the way to the edges so that you don't see a stripe stopping on the side. Once you know where everything is, I go ahead and turn off the design guides, which is over here in the upper right-hand side. So I just go ahead and you can turn them on or off. And then I tried to on some of the templates where you need a little more information. I've gone ahead here and said exactly where each of these letters are from. And this is in the new sports fan. So I love these alphas. This is fun, perfect for sports. So I tell you where you can find them. But basically, you can also click on a letter, and if you right-click on it, you can say Open Collection, and that will bring up the collection that it's from, and you can see exactly where it's from. So you guys are getting a sneak peek at this sports fan collection. No one else has seen it but our in-house and me, so you're getting a look at all the different pieces that are available. So let's go here. I'm going to, before we get started, we have a toolbox here, which will show different things, and this is a toolbar here. They both basically do the same thing, but I prefer to work in the toolbox, so I'm going to go ahead and turn off this toolbar, and you do that by going to View, and here's where you select. You can have to turn the toolbox off if you want, and it zips away, or turn that back on, and then turn off the toolbar, so that's not there anymore. So let's make it a Braves baseball jersey instead. So I'm going to scroll here through the alphabet letters, or alpha for short. And I'm going to look through, there's a whole black set of numbers, which is great. So there's black, so we are going to say, let's see, did I go too far? Yes. So I just like to drag up the letters in order first. So I'm going to do a B. I'm just not worried about placement right now. I'm just dragging them up. B, R, A, V, E, and an S. Where's my S? Okay, perfect. So now I have them all up there. So let's go a little bigger so I can see. So basically, I like to pull the letters kind of in about the right location, because some letters are actually fatter or wider than others. So I go ahead and kind of visually place them together. Because I don't want, like here's kind of close here, I don't really want these letters overlapping. So I want them close, but not too close here. And I pull up the other S. And then, see they're kind of a little crooked along the bottom. If you hold down the Shift key and then click on each of the letters while holding down the Shift key, so I've got them all, then I go over to my toolbox and I'm going to align to this one here, align to bottom, which puts them all exactly lined up along the bottom, so it's perfect. There's a little bit of drop shadow on here, if you can see. Let's bump it up so you can see it a bit more. So let's go closer. It's a little hard to see the drop shadows when it's on a dark background here. We'll make it more obvious. So there. So if I like that drop shadow, then I can do a Edit, Copy, and then I'm going to do a Edit, Paste Special, Paste Format, and that's going to paste that drop shadow right on that letter. The great thing is if I hold down the Shift key and grab all these letters again, I can do Edit, Paste Special, Paste Format, and it's put the drop shadow on all of those Braves letters right there, if you can see that. So now what I want to do is I just want to replace those Rangers letters, but I kind of want to keep the same sizing. So I'm holding down the Shift and then grabbing all these, and I'm just kind of sliding it down into position. If you like it bigger like this, go ahead and keep it big, or if you grab one of these corners, I can slide it down and make it a little bit smaller like that, so it almost fits the same size. And once you have all the letters grouped too, you can see that instead of giving the center of each individual letter, it gives the center of the word, which is great. So I know that the center of this canvas is right on this V, so it's easy to line up that little turn rotator handle right on there. So then I know I'm centered. So now I've got the other words behind. So what I usually do is I usually send this to back. I want it all the way in the background. So this first, if you see over here in the toolbox, this first one over here on the far left is send to back. Great. So I can just click on these, grabbing them all, unlocking, and deleting. So they are gone now. So I wanted to show you something about the layers too. Some people ask, how do you tell where your layers are? If you go down to my projects here, you can see every piece of art that is used on your project so far. So I can see all the different letters, and sometimes we have missing pieces. Like if you notice these two pieces here, I don't see anywhere, but I must have started with it somewhere and it got tucked in behind. So I know by looking at this project, what's in my current project, that this is the very back layer. This is the furthest item back, and then these are the closest up to the front. So they go in order from way back to the close-up. Is everybody getting that? Okay, that's how you find your hidden layers. So I know something's in the back here. So if I take my piece of paper, I'm going to unlock it here, and I'm going to send it all the way to back. Up, yep, see there's all those missing random pieces. So that's where you can click on the helmet and delete it. There's that missing, oh, there's another name, delete it, missing skate. So usually it's in the back somewhere. You just have to send your paper then all the way to the back, and that'll make it available. So we're going to delete these, unlock, delete, and there's my Braves. And then the hockey is just a text box, so we're just going to change that to baseball. Perfect. Easy. So I've got Braves baseball right there. But the Braves colors are not charcoal gray and red, but they are red and blue. So let's easily change the colors. These are just solid grayscale pieces of paper that I've added 100% tint to, which can be found over here in the toolbox. If you click on it, you'll see the effects. And here's your fill color here. Here was the original paper, which was a gray. I just filled it with this charcoal color. So now let's make these stripes blue instead, and then we'll change the background to red. So typically I don't like the colors that are available to me in this box here. So I like to go into the art collections, and I'm just going to type in blue because I'm looking for a nice blue here. So I kind of go through and I see the different blues available. It's not really a turquoise blue. It's more of a kind of a bright royal blue color. So let's see if anything works. So maybe something like this. So let's go to the toolbox again, click on it. I'm going to click on my little eyedropper tool, and I'm going to go see how this blue looks here. It looks pretty good. Great. So once I have this color, I know I want this one to be the same. We can either grab this like this and grab directly from there. So I've got the exact same blues. Or let's undo. I did a Control V to undo it. I can also do this, edit, copy, and then go to paste format, and it'll copy the same blue that way. So there's always a couple different ways to do that. And then I want a nice red here for the background. So let's go back to my art collections and find a nice red. Let's see, there was some red over here. This might be a little too pinky red, but let's do a little test. Let's see if we can grab it. So it's fun. I love the eyedropper tool because it's just so fun to play with. So that was not quite the right red that I would use, but instead of looking for another red, but you can just search. We can easily type in red and see what we've got here. If a quick color comes up, that's really true red. That one's a little orangey red. Yeah, let's try this kind of dark red here. So I'm just selecting the background paper and just 100% fill to red. That's still a little dark. But in the sake of time, let's just put the dark red there. And then these I would change to the background color as well. So just grab from there. And I just a little eyedropper tool, and I quickly and easily customize the canvas so that it has become a Braves baseball jersey instead. And then you just save that, and then you're ready to publish. Do you have any questions on that, guys?
I think we've got most of them done. I'm looking really quick. Okay, when she showed the order of all the artwork used, she showed the layers and finally the 2 gray sheets, which she said were on top. But I don't understand that because they were obviously not the top layer. But she did it, but it's still not the top layer. Maybe I don't understand the order concept. Can you kind of go through that order thing again? Because you have your gray papers, but they are not the top. So how did you get those other things to pop up to the top? Does that make sense? Roxanne, did you hear me? Oh my gosh.
Oh, I just realized I was muted. Sorry, guys. Okay, I'm back. All right, so you could see, definitely you could see all the papers in the background. These were these. But the papers that are the top layer here, if I drag them up, I can actually see what pieces they were. And they were actually this neckline here because these were the original colors in the gray. So these 2 pieces of paper are the top layer. Does everybody see that now? That's why those 2 are on the top, because they are paper, but the neckline layered. So we could do, let's slide this over. I can grab these holding down the Shift key. And then down here at the bottom of your toolbox, this one says Bring to Front, which will bring them all to the front. So if I do a save, let's save that real quick, and let's see if it updated it. Sometimes you have to go out of here and then go back in to see it. It's not updating. Sometimes you have to go out of your project, but you will see that these alphas actually move to the top layer. So these truly pieces of paper were on the top, if that makes sense. Everybody get that now?
Looks like we are good on that. Thank you so much for going back and explaining that.
Great. So a lot of times the papers down below, they just look grayscale or whatever paper you have, but once you drag them up, you can see what color they actually were color tinted to. So they look different sometimes down below. This is the original format that they were in until they were colorized. You can check here under effects and see it's got 100% fill of the gray, but the original paper was this dark gray. So sometimes it's deceptive on which layer is which until you drag them up to see what they were. Okay, great. Let's go back and see what else we have here. All right, so once I did one of those canvases, I said, wouldn't it be fun to have a wall full of team jerseys? I know my children who play sports, for instance, baseball. He's been a Red Sox, he's been a Brave, he's been a Pirate, and every year he has a different number. It would be so cute as a little keepsake to do these 12 by 12 canvases with, instead of here was the original one, all you would do is duplicate it, and if you played on the Marlins and he was number 23, you just adjust it, and then you just color change it, just like I showed you. And every year, he'd have another new little jersey, and these would be a great little collection up on the wall. There could be 6 or 4 or just 2 hanging together, or, of course, my child has favorite players that he loves on different teams, whether it's football or baseball or hockey, or soccer for that matter, but it would be fun to put his favorite player's number with the team. And it's a great way to fill up the wall with great, sports art. So great, fun idea. So think about doing something like that. And these would make great gifts for friends too, for birthday parties. You could do their little team, their little league jersey with your friend's name and their number on it would be a great gift as well. And coaches, I love coaches. They just dedicate so much time and do so much for the team. It's amazing. I talk to certain coaches and they're staying up all night planning and they're on the field all the time and, organizing. We owe a lot to them. My husband's been a coach several times and, as wives or if you're a coach yourself, you know how much time it takes. So it's nice to do a special gift for the coach, something that they'll keep and treasure forever. These, again, are designed in basic, which is wonderful. It's kind of a play on our Subway word art. We just kept it really simple. Coach John Simpson, leader, mentor, Team Titans, blue and white, encourage, instruct, baseball, guide, and I can't remember all the different ones. And then it's all the little players' names at the bottom here, too. So all you would need is one photo of the team, and I know most sports teams take a team photo at the beginning of the year, or at the end holding their championship trophies would be great. But it could be, little backs like this. I love this photo, so adorable. Or it could just be, the feet playing soccer. I did one year with all the football players' legs in a huddle. It was great. So basically you just pick up whatever. If it's Team Titans and the team color is blue and white, you just change the fonts to, blue. And this one is a gold and black team, so in a red and white team. So it's easy. This just text. None of these are word art. It's all just text. And you just double-click, highlight, and retype your coach's name. So these would be wonderful gifts. These are 11 by 14 prints. Easily framed for a coach. You could also put a big mat and then frame, and then have all the kids' signatures and numbers around the edge of the mat would be great. And then I also did, if you just wanted something smaller, like a 5 by 7 thank you card, I just took the same thing. I basically removed the photo so you didn't have to have a photo, slid the whole word art section up, and just added 2 more lines at the bottom, thanks, and then 1 awesome season, and then the inside there'll be space for your child to write. So I really like this concept too. I really think we need to give our coaches, some special gifts. All right, and this is also with that Sports Fan collection. It's a wonderful set because it has all these great embellishments, like it has all the different team jerseys and word art, but they also have all the different playing fields, whether it's baseball or tennis or rugby, and they're great. They're really high, nice big resolution, big size, so they easily can be stretched to this 11 by 14 print size and not lose any of their quality. So on our baseball team, I did this one for softball, but there's also a baseball version as well. We always have the team roster hanging in the dugout, and the parents always have kind of a team roster too because we want to know who all the players are. So this is an easy way that you can print out a team roster and hang it in the dugout. You could also make it a smaller size. You could do the import page and take it down to an 8.5 by 11, and the 8.5 by 11 fit perfectly on a clipboard. So you could have it, you could adhere it to the bottom of a clipboard. It would be great for the coaches, and then it's there with them all the time. And then in that same idea, what if you removed the names and the numbers, and then at the end of the season, you had each player sign their little autograph and their number, and then you frame this 11 by 14 print for the coach. I think that's a pretty great idea too. I would just, this one recommendation, I would just print out this 11 by 14 print and not put on the UV coating. The UV coating makes it a little slick. And if they're going to sign their autographs, I would use the Sharpie fine point. And just watch it. You'll have to let it dry for a little bit, or go ahead and use a ballpoint pen on these. But once they're, it'll take a couple minutes to dry, and then you can easily put it in a frame with glass, and then the coaches will have an autograph version from all the kids. It would also be fun for each of the kids to go around and sign a whole bunch of them, and then each player would have a little keepsake from the team. You never know who's going to become famous one day, and they might have their autograph. And this is used, yeah.
Speaking of gifts, I think we should give away some points.
Awesome. Go for it.
Okay, so Erica Honey, thanks for coming tonight. You have earned 20 points just for showing up tonight, so thank you so much. And Roxanne, I'll let you go on. Thanks for letting me interrupt.
Sure. And this one looks kind of completely different. This is using the Gymnastics for Her and the Gymnastics for Him collection, which was released last year, but it's also in basics. So I was able to combine this gymnastics collection, which has all the beams and the rings, the numbers here, and combine it with the alphabet letters that we played with earlier. So it was a great way to still do a basic set, but mix in another sports collection. So you can keep this the same. This is a collection of text as well as word art here. So we've got the girl and the boy version. But any of these subway ideas you could change up to make them any sports. We've got lots of art collections, probably more on the premier side that have, football players and basketball players. It's easy to just replace these guys with whatever sports figure or little icon that you would like, and then you just retype in whatever words apply to that sport. So we do love our subway art. So this is a great, another basic set. And I love this little bag. I actually wish I had a little girl for a gymnast, but I thought this would look really cute on, oh, now I can't think of the name of our little bag. Not the little brag bag, but what's the little satchel one called?
The hipster bags.
The hipster bag, yeah. Okay, great. The hipster bag would fit this perfectly, and I can see like little girls carrying around and just being proud of their gymnast or athletic status and stuff. So that would be a great import page thing to do with the hipster bag. Thank you, Stacey. All right, and so I couldn't resist doing a storybook as well with the new sports fan collection. There were so many sports in there. Like I said, there was 15 different sports. So I thought, some people have asked me, instead of just an all football book or an all baseball book, what if you have a child that loves sports? This is a perfect collection because they all coordinate. So I set about kind of making a storybook about two boys who just loved all different sports. And at certain times, we all have kids that try different sports, and it doesn't always stick with them. My oldest, we put him in soccer when he was 3, and he just loved finding the little butterflies and bugs in the grass. And he didn't pay much attention to soccer at all, but we did it for a season, and we have some photos. So this is a great way to not have to do a full storybook, but you could do just a single page if you like. So, we do family bowling, so it could be a family here, and then we could have a page of soccer. And then they find sports that they like. So, if they love football, you could do maybe 1 or 2 different spreads full of football if you have multiple seasons of a sport. But it's great. So this book is just really a mix of all the different sports in there. There's probably, 8 to 10 different sports mixed in here. But the book is really easy to customize. If you don't play cricket, understandably, I don't think a lot of people here do, but it's becoming more popular, you could easily swap out a page from something else, replace it here, or just drag and drop these and make it a baseball page instead. Whatever other sport you want, or maybe you want a double spread for bowling, great. So it's easily, you can take pages out, replace, add to it, but it's got a little bit of everything. So I know a lot of families love sports, or sports crazy, and maybe even the dad's involved in sports. So it can be a big mix of, maybe just family playing basketball, some team sports, some individual sports. Just have fun with it and kind of mix and match. And on that vein, after I had done the book, I said, well, what if people want scrap pages? A lot of people just want a single scrap page instead of the whole book. So I just went ahead and pulled out a couple of these pages and went ahead and made scrap pages for you because they're already in basic, which is perfect. So it gives people a head start on getting started. So I just took one of these pages I designed. I think I started with the bowling, and then I just wanted to see how many times I could change it up and how many sports I could do. So let's see what I've got. So it's all the same exact starting point with the 9 photos up. And all I did was just kind of move around the box placement for the text, the journaling. And I made these little vignettes on each. So I just saw what pieces were available in the basketball collection. It's all from Sports Fan. Just what pieces I had available, jerseys and numbers and footballs and the number 1 fan here. But it was great pieces, the hockey rink. So I did baseball, basketball, football, hockey, soccer, softball. And you can keep going and going and going. There's no end to the possibility for a template. It doesn't even, because it's sports, doesn't have to be sports. It could be a cooking lesson you had with grandma. You just start introducing new art. Change your papers up. Find a great cooking art collection that we have and drop in, a pumpkin pie with, an apron. These layouts can be anything you want them to be. They don't have to be just sports. So when I'm looking for something for a design, let's say we're doing your baking lesson with grandma. The kids are Baking with Grandma. I don't necessarily only look for cooking templates. I go ahead, if I'm going to do a scrap page, I look through all the scrap pages because maybe there's a better layout that fits my pictures better. I'm not afraid to change anything up. It's just your imagination is the only limitation that you have. And there's endless possibilities with the art that we have. So, don't be afraid to take any of these and change them up to whatever you're looking for. So not only were there 6, here's 4 more. So there's volleyball, tennis, bowling, and track and field. They have such great little pieces in this collection, so it's kind of fun to mix and match and just make these special little vignettes and stuff. And then I looked and I realized in our whole template gallery as of now, we have no badminton, cricket, rugby, or table tennis, but this art collection had those, so I went ahead and made a page for each of those. So it's a fun little starting point for all of you to get started. You could do badminton if you learn to play at a family reunion. All you would do is, if it's a single page in the template, you could just duplicate it, make a second one, and then just change it up, move photos around in placement, and you'll easily have a double page layout. So fun. The rugby ones, you can change the placement of the photos. Like this was a great vertical photo here. So I just made the photo box cover 2 of the placements, how it was before. I just, stretched it longer and made it the exact size of 2. So you can do that same thing if you have a horizontal photo, just have a picture fill up the 2 boxes. So lots of ways to be flexible with this, and, feel free to overlap things and layer. It's great. It's fun to play with these. And since I did all these pages, I wanted to announce, too, that we have scrap pages and post-bound albums will be on sale in July. So starting July 1st, which is right around the corner, all these wonderful scrap pages and post-bound albums will be an extra 10% off when you check out. So that's great, too. Okay, and this one is not from the sports fan collection, but I always do one kind of big team sports book collection at the end of baseball season. So this was from an art collection called Go Team. This Go Team collection has lots of fun baseball pieces, but it also is full of other sports as well. So this is another one of those great multi-purpose collections. So once again, just like how I changed up all those scrap pages to be whatever sport you want, you do the same thing here. You'll just find papers that match your team colors. My son was the Mets this year, so we had the blue and the orange. So once you swap out the photos, change the color papers, it's a completely different book. I mean, it's amazing how you can change these up to be blue and red and the Braves. If it's not baseball, baseball works great, but you can change it to football elements and completely change the book. You don't need to, I always say don't recreate the wheel with having to line up, start from scratch, line up all your photos. It's hard to get everything perfectly aligned. So this is all set up for you, so it saves you a ton of time not having to come up with the exact layout. So there's a great 8x8 storybook. There's also a playing card deck, which is baseball trading cards. The kids love these. I know several friends do multiple packs. Each kid gets a pack of cards, and it's all their photos throughout. And then they trade them all season, which is fun. It gives kind of their stats on them. But what I do is I make a deck, and there was 11 players on the team, and that gave each child 5 cards. You could do that just so that they have fun with them. But it's a great little keepsake, too. You can play like Go Fish type games with them as well. And there's also this great little 4x6 invitation, which I used as a thank you card this year. I actually gave the coaches a book at the end of the season, and I put it, wrapped it up in a little gift bag with tissue paper, and then I punched a hole in this card and had the card hanging like a tag from the gift bag, and then there's a full photo on the back of the team together. But I always get the nicest compliments from the coaches. They are always so appreciative of these books. I start early in the season. You need about 12 photos per child is all you need, so other moms can help you shoot, or you can shoot them yourself. I love getting out there on the field and shooting them myself. And then I've got them, and as soon as I get them, I start dropping them in at the beginning of the season. I mean, it does take a few weeks to get all the stuff accumulated and figure out what positions they're playing. But if you start on it from the beginning, it's not this last-minute panic. So you'll have the coach's books done, and then it's easy. I just change it to the coach. I put the coach on the front and say his name. And then like I said earlier, I duplicate it and then put my player in the front, and I do it for each of the kids on the team too. So it's really easy to customize with just changing up the front cover, because each child on the team has a spread. So it's easy to keep track of, everybody's got their place on the team. So each spread, just depending on how many kids are on the team. Of course, football is going to get a little big, so maybe each kid would have a single page that way. So lots of ways to customize for your child or for your coach. And then along with this, we introduced, if you missed last month's class, we did a whole thing about cupcake wraps. So these are really adorable. They wrap around the outside of a cupcake. So if you didn't see that, go ahead and watch the archived version of last month's class where we talk about that. It was on the Father's Day class. So these are cupcake wraps. They just wrap around the outside, and you just stick them together at the back with some double-sided tape. And then these are cupcake toppers. So you would just punch these out, and with a little toothpick, they fit into the top of the cupcake and look really cute, like a little decoration. So it could be each of the players, whatever you want. But there's full instructions inside the template, and then watch the class, and we'll show you. There's some photos in there as well, so you can see the full mock-up of certain cupcake wraps. And then we all love these Hershey Nugget wraps. So I did some fun baseball ones here. Just real simple, but they wrap perfectly. Our address labels wrap perfectly around Hershey Nuggets. They have been a huge treat. We do them all the time for all the different sports, different events. They're great. They're inexpensive and they're fun. Everybody loves them. And then you're probably wondering what this one here is. This one obviously will not wrap well around a Hershey Nugget. But I think Brooke was the one who discovered, I don't know why we didn't think of this earlier, but that these address labels fit perfectly atop one of the Hershey's milk chocolate bars in the snack size. So they're the little smaller versions, and I think you buy them in packs of 10, but they are the Hershey snack size candy bars. They're probably, let's see, I'm looking at one right now here on my desk. They're probably like 2 inches long, like an inch tall. But it's amazing that these labels fit perfect. So we're going to be coming out with a whole bunch of other designs for, weddings and baby showers and things soon. So great new way to use the address labels. And then you're probably wondering what the M is here. M could be, it says M is for marvelous, but it stood for the Met. But I had a friend, Carrie, who gave me the idea. I saw her doing this and asked her if I could borrow it, and she was gracious enough to let me do it. So I thought, well, what if we spell out the team name? And here's what we have. So basically, you can take one of the labels, the M, duplicate it, make an E, duplicate it, make a T, so you can spell out the name of your team. So this is really cute. So these are actually clear cellophane pretzel stick bags. The dimensions are here, and you can find them at Hobby Lobby or Michael's or any of your other craft stores, or you can probably order online. But for the long stick pretzels, like you would dip in chocolate or something for a little treat, or just take one of the little Hershey Nuggets with you to the store and then stick it inside, see if you can sample it inside. But these make great party favors, team snacks. You can do them for fundraisers, coaches' gifts. They are adorable. Carrie has done them in all different things for different holidays. She had a cute little Valentine's one. It said, I heart you. It was just a smaller bag. There's shorter little bags, too. So really cute way to spell out a team name or whatever design you want in there. And then here's a little Hershey milk chocolate bars and how those labels fit perfectly on top of those Hershey bars. You can do it one-sided, or you can print out extra labels and do on front and back side as well. Great. Is everybody getting that? Any questions about what I've been showing you?
So far, we're doing good. We did have a question about there be a way besides the archives for this webinar to see these ideas, and we are working on project sheets that will kind of go through some of these. So I will put this on the priority list for a project sheet.
Wonderful. Great. Yeah, good idea. Great. Okay, so we're running long tonight, so we're going to go ahead and jump into studio. What I'm going to show you tonight to start with is we're going to take, I really like this basketball scrap page here, but I don't necessarily want the prayer. I want to show off more photos. So I'm going to show you how to take this page and then take a page from a storybook here from the baseball book and how to make these two into a project together. So let's go ahead and jump over into Studio. Let me get out of this one. Oops. Let's see here. So let's go to the template gallery. I'm going to browse the gallery. And let's see, I know that page is in the storybook. So a lot of times there's not a lot of scrap pages available, but if you go through storybooks and you find a spread you like, you can take any page from a storybook and make it into a single page or a spread, whatever you like. So I'm just going to save that into my favorites. I just put a little heart on it by clicking in it. And then in my Studio, oh, I don't have that one yet. So let's go back to my gallery. I am going to look for that basketball page. Where is that one? I'll scroll down. There's the basketball page. So I'm going to go ahead and start that project. So it's preparing to open now. So basically all I want to do is I want to delete the second page out of this project and import page by putting in that baseball one page from one of the spreads of the storybook. It's really quick and easy to do. So let's see, we only have about 6-7 minutes left, so let's see how quickly we can do this. Perfect, so now it's opening up, and over here under the Manage Pages, you can see I have 2 pages here. It'll be the front and the second page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Manage Pages. I'm going to click on that. And then here it shows my 2 pages. I'm going to click on the second page and I'm going to remove the page. And then I'm going to add in a blank page. And I'll say done. Yes, save my changes. Perfectly. So now I've got the front one and I've got the second page. So now on the second page, I want to import that page from the storybook. So down here under my projects, remember I did the little heart for my favorites on that baseball storybook. If I scroll down here, there's that Go Baseball storybook. So here's all the pages from that baseball book. So let me scroll down here and see if I can find that one. Let's see here. That one, yep. So I'm just going to import page. Now remember, this is an 8x8 storybook we're importing from onto a 12x12 page. So it's going to be a little smaller. But all we're going to do, we're going to go Control A, which is the same as Edit, Select All. The shortcut is Control A. I've got it all here. I'm going to unlock the project, grab the corner, and drag it. So I fill up my whole 12x12 sheet. There we go. Oh, come on, a little more. Got a little delay in it tonight. Let's see. There we go. A little bit smaller. And then you can turn on your guides too. We're just going to kind of do this one quick. Okay. So you're going to want to make sure your paper stretches all the way. I'm kind of doing this quick because we're running short on time. But you always want your papers beyond the edges here. So once I have that, it looks like a baseball. But once you drop in the pictures, it really changes everything. So we want to go Edit, Lock all on page. I want everything locked. Then I'm going to go to my photos that I've previously uploaded. And I've got a basketball folder here. We are just going to quickly drag in some photos. And I'm just dropping exactly into this red button area. If I drop somewhere else, it's going to put it on top. And I don't want it on top. I want it directly into this red button. So here, I'm just quickly dropping them in. Let's throw in some more there. There, and there. Okay, so I've got all my photos dropped in. So now, the pages match nicely side by side. I want to change this background to match this first page so it flows together. So I'm going to go to this page, click on the background, my projects, And I'm going to go back to my current project. I can click on the front page, and I see the exact background paper. So that's what I want. So I'm going to click, and I'm going to drag right in there. And if you ever drop in the paper, like see this one stayed gray, it did not, you keep kind of dropping and it doesn't change, replace the paper, go ahead and go over to your toolbox, check the effects, and more often than not, your fill color is 100% of some other color, like this gray color, so then you're going to turn that off, bring it back to 0, so then your wood grain shows here. And then I like my pages to match, so instead of just this orange paper, these are the papers I used on the front page, so I'm going to go ahead and drag that in there. And these little papers here were from another collection. These actually work for basketball. We could just drag on a basketball here if we'd like. You know, kind of do something with layering if we wanted to. Or you can go ahead and click on these. I'm holding down the Shift key to grab multiple, unlock, and delete. And then you can click on any of these and it'll show you what it's from. Like sometimes don't rule out, if you're doing basketball, search for sports. Because this one's from the baseball star collection, so it won't come up in your search. So search all sports because easily this Go Team pennant could work for any sport. So I always don't limit myself to basketball, kind of open it up a little bit broader. So let's see what collection this is from. This is from the Slam Dunk collection. So I'm going to open this collection and see what else is available. I know there's probably a backboard. Yep, there's a backboard. Let's see if there's a net somewhere. Yep, fun little net. We can just drag that on. And then we'll scale it up bigger. We'll delete the splashes of mud here. Unlock, delete. And then we could throw on some stars or something else, you know, some, oh, maybe we'll do a little pennant here to match. Star pennant. But now basically your colors and collections match the page before. So you're like really set to go with just some modifications and moving things into place. So you can just do something like that. So I just play with it a little bit, but it's easy to take a page from a storybook and, you know, mix and match with any other project you want just by using the import page. So this is a great way to take a single photo image that's a little looser in design and then kind of mix it with a lot of photos on the next page. It's a nice contrast together. So any last questions before we have to go?
I'm not seeing any, but let's give them just a second to see if there are any questions. Apparently muted, sorry. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay, so we're going with, we're going to give away some points. Vicki Schmitz, you are winning 20 Heritage Makers points, and so far I'm not seeing any questions, Roxanne, so
okay,
I
great.
think everyone was good.
Wonderful. Okay, well, before we go, does anyone want a sneak peek of the next sports art collection coming? I know I got lots of requests last year, so if you have any last thoughts for art collections in the sports arena that you'd like to see, this was one that we got a lot of last year, so I went ahead and created, and Stacy has been kind enough to bump it up in the schedule, so it will be released on August 1st. Okay, drum roll, what's coming? All right, ladies lacrosse is what is coming next in the sports digital art collection. This is a fun, great lacrosse set. The lacrosse set, we have a men's version right now, which is very masculine and dark in color, so I kept this one light and playful. It's got a ton of pieces which are great, like shoelaces and nets, tennis shoes, and the papers can all be used on things other than sports. They're kind of very generic, but they're fun and girly. You can see the pennants, the banners here, you know, just sunglasses. And all the lacrosse pieces, you know, the balls and the sticks, the pads are all white in nature. So they actually could go, you know, feminine or masculine, whatever whatever you need there. So it's it has a lot of wonderful pieces. So again, don't just search for lacrosse if you're doing a sport. You might be doing something else, but this has a lot of great net pieces, shoelaces, things that can be tied into other sports. So don't forget to just search broad sports instead of a specific sport when you look in the art collections. All right, Stacy, we're coming to the end.
I cannot believe it. That went so fast, Roxanne. So many fun
I know.
projects and ideas. People were very excited about the ideas you shared. They love the lacrosse, so thanks for putting that together. And I'm excited. We'll see everyone next month, Thursday, July 16th. It's easy as ABC. Hard to believe that we're talking about cool stuff already. But
I know. It's always too early, but we want to be prepared and be on top of it.